Kicking It with the Crosbys. Hello, Reese.
Hello. I hate when you do the intro like that. I hate it every time. Every time. It's so awkward. It makes
Why
me
don't you
uncomfortable.
like it?
I don't know. Something about it is just so uncomfortable to me.
Sometimes I want to do like a really NPR, like, it's us. We're kicking it with the Crosbys. Welcome to the show.
I feel like we're
It's a lot of deep breathing. Reese,
It's so serious.
how are you doing tonight?
I hate this so much. Please stop.
Okay. All right. Well, it's us, the Crosbys. I'm Mason Crosby and my brother Reese Crosby.
Was it?
I paused, expecting you to fill in the blank there.
Hello.
Hello, Reese. Yeah, so we're gonna change it up a little bit for the show, and we opened up Instagram to a little Q&A, and a lot of people responded. But we want to keep growing that number because we're going to do this periodically on the show. Is open up to a Q&A for all of the the amazing people out there that are listening to the show and that follow us on Instagram and our different platforms. So my Instagram platform, if y'all didn't know, is at Crosby Kicks 2. My brother is at Reese.Crosby. That's Rees. If you didn't know the spelling.
Yeah. Thank you for that.
Yeah. Not like Reese's Pieces. All Reese's.
Get
He
out of
hates that. And then our podcast Instagram is Kickin' Crosbys, at Kickin' Crosbys. So please come follow us, and enjoy this journey with us. So we're going to answer a few questions, and then we're also going to throw it back a little bit to, what was it, 3 years ago?
It was something like that. Yeah, I think 3 years ago.
3 years ago when we first started this this crazy thought that we're gonna have a podcast. We're gonna get this thing going. We're revved it up. We started it. We put something down, and there's probably 10 or 15 good minutes on that.
Oh, I mean, that's a stretch. I think we've only let like 5 people listen to it because we thought we were really, really funny, but there was a lot of stuff on there that was not good. So don't worry, guys. We will bring you just the highlights and there's not many, but there's some stuff that is high quality.
There is, and I think some of the questions that we're going to answer at the beginning of this actually will segue very well into the original podcast that we put together. Yeah, and it's I think that we've really refined where we're headed, and I'm excited for it. But we are going to dive right in to some questions, and I'm excited for this this little thing that we're doing, this little segment we're doing right here. So this one is kind of funny, and I'm going to ask it directly to Reese. So it's from Duke Bobber, which is an old friend there out of Green Bay. Is a hot dog a sandwich?
Is a hot dog a sandwich?
I love this question, and Reese is going to answer first for sure.
Initial thought, no. Hot dog, not a sandwich. I don't have a alternative classification for it, but instant thought, hot dog, not a sandwich. I have some.
Have you ever eaten hot dogs? I know for a fact. You've had a hot dog wrapped in like bread.
Yeah.
So
many times.
So you wouldn't call that a sandwich then?
Again, I feel
is
like
it a meat classification that you determine?
I think it's a bread classification. My bread classification, which I have an argument against my own classification, but my initial thought is it's not because there's no split in the bread. Like a sandwich has 2 separate sides. There's a bottom bread and there's a top bread. And I think that's my bugaboo about it.
You said bread more times than I think you intended to there. Mine, I think it's.
That was a.
I feel uncomfortable saying what I'm about to say, and so I'm trying to think of a different way to say it.
Just say it, man.
I can't say it without it sounding really, really bad. So no, I don't think a hot dog's a sandwich.
That's it. You're just gonna lead everything up to it.
I'm trying to keep it from going to an inappropriate place.
That's understandable. Yeah, for me, it's there's no two separate, like, the bun is just a bun. So I don't think it's a sandwich. I think it's its own classification of.
Yours is all about the bun, and mine's. I would say my issue is the meat. It's like the type of meat, the shape of the meat, like
because it's a round meat, therefore it's not a sandwich.
Yeah, I feel like a sandwich has flat meat on it.
I think that's fair. I accept it.
Okay.
So
I just didn't want to say meat. I felt weird about it, which I don't know.
Bread a lot. You said meat a lot. I think Kicking with Crosby's are unanimous hot dogs, not sandwiches.
Not a sandwich. Thanks, Duke.
All right. So the next one that we have is your boy AJ12 wants to know, Mason, what is your favorite game-winning kick?
My boy AJ12?
Well, it's your boy.
Oh,
AJ12.
Oh, okay. I thought it was like AJ12, and like you were saying, okay, you didn't add your boy.
No, it's everyone's boy. It's just yours.
It's and your AJ, boy, yeah. AJ12. All right. AJ. Well, appreciate the question, and gosh, that one's twofold, two part, because I think I have two that would really stand out in my time there in Green Bay, and it would be my first game ever. Going into being in Lambeau for the first time. Brett Favre takes a knee to set me up to kick a game-winning field goal. Like, you can't write that story as a kid. Like, that's not something that you put out there as an option, really. So the fact that Brett Favre takes a knee, I'm running on the field. He kind of gives me a little pat, or runs by, just kind of it's like we acknowledge the moment. And to be able to go out there and kick a field goal to win that game was just was awesome against the Eagles there. And man, what a long time! 2007.
Whoa. I know. I want a little shout out to you. Little unknown fact that a lot of people overlook on that is you kick the game winner, but there's still like a couple seconds left. So you do a squib kick, you get the tackle, and you force a fumble, all in the same go.
Thank you for sharing that. That does make me feel good. I used to stick my nose in there a lot more. I was down there. I was head hunting. It wasn't always pretty, but I had some good tackles. I did.
What's your two-parter? What's your other favorite game?
The second one is obvious. Yeah, I think it's obvious for anyone that's a Packer fan and I guess followed my career, is the Dallas kick there in Dallas Stadium. Man, Jerry World, divisional round in the 2016 playoffs. That one was special. To be able to, honestly, that sequence in that 2 minutes, I kick a 56-yarder, Dan Bailey, they come down, he kicks a 53-yarder, and then I come back and kick the 51-yarder to win it. Had to hit it twice, and just the circumstance. I mean, I literally felt that was probably one of the longest times I'd ever been on a field in my NFL career. Like, they're reviewing it. I had to kick it. I kicked one, they called timeout. Like, it just felt like I was on the field for an eternity. And, at this point, removed for a while, like from that moment, like I tell people all the time how dry my mouth was. I was like, it's just the atmosphere. It was dry. It's dry in that stadium. So it wasn't
indoor stadium. The indoor stadium was so.
It was just dry. I needed a lot of water, and then but you got to be careful because you don't want to fill up too much. But it's like so I was just rinsing my mouth a lot. Just a little dry out there, but coming through there, and like the one thing I regret about that moment, and I don't know if I've said that earlier, is that I wish I would have had a better celebration, but the celebration was like uniquely, innately, like what I was feeling. Just this like, oh my gosh, I'm just so happy. It just kind of like took my whole body, in on it. And man, what a cool moment. Wish we could have finished it off and made a Super Bowl run, but appreciate the question on that one. All right, I'm going to ask Reese the next question, and I'm going to one that I think is going to be a little bit fun. And JD Parnell 4 asks, do you believe in Bigfoot?
Oh, JD. No, I don't, because I know that Bigfoot is real. So, I mean, I guess that would mean I do believe, but it's a fact. Bigfoot's real. Bigfoot's out there. Bigfoot walks amongst us, and that's well documented. That's not a belief. It's not a theory. It is fact.
That was a great answer. I mean, I feel like I'm convinced, even though I think you're full of it. You've never seen Bigfoot. You've never had any encounters with Bigfoot. No one's. Why? Tell me one thing. Tell me why Bigfoot, at this point, he's been well documented, as we say, and he's been seen by a million people. They've taken pictures, videos of him, all this. Why has he not shown himself? Why would Bigfoot not just finally come and live among society, like be part of what, like take his celebrity and his fame and like go with it? Like, what is your understanding about Bigfoot that makes him not a fame seeker and wants to stay this recluse and this hidden figure?
Well, yeah, I would like to point out that you say that there's photos and videos of him, but why doesn't he show himself? Well, I mean, apparently he does. But what is well known and documented about Sasquatch is that he's humble. He doesn't need the fame. He knows he has the fame, but it's not important enough for him to like just come out of hiding, throw himself out there into the spotlight. He knows he's a celebrity. He wants to just kind of live in the background, be happy with where he's at. And, in the documents that I've seen about that is very much true. Sasquatch is humble. He's, just he's a family man. He's a family man. They travel in packs. That's also well documented.
Stop it.
So
he's humble.
Bottom line, Sasquatch, real fact, and humble fact. And also, so if you guys are interested in hearing some more about
just keep listening
behind Sasquatch, keep listening. Podcast number 1 coming up after this that we recorded 3 years ago. It's good stuff.
It has some of the best Sasquatch content that you possibly will ever find. So honestly, there's a few takes in this podcast that you're going to listen to at the end of this Q&A that were some of my favorite things to go on with Reese, and some things that we both surprised each other with a few answers that we threw out there on some questions we were posing for each other and some of those things. So just make sure you follow through and watch the end of this. So, all right, Reese, it's your turn. Throw one at me.
All right, I like this one. So, Last Train to Clarksville wants to know who was the best player when it came to kickoffs, either on the return team or on the kicking team. And so I think, we want to know, who the best returner is that you faced. I have a pretty good idea of who you're going to say, but then also who was like your favorite special teams member on the kickoff? Like, who do you want going down there to cover your kick?
Yeah, that's I mean, it's got to go to Cordarrelle Patterson. I mean, that guy.
I thought you were going Devin Hester.
Oh gosh,
yeah,
you're right. We didn't. Okay, here's the thing. Yes, you're right. I stand corrected. So Devin Hester, though, we didn't do as many crazy things to try to not get him the ball. So like Devin Hester taught us that we're idiots for kicking the ball to him.
Yeah. Oh no, exactly.
And just letting him return kicks. So I would say the difference was with Hester, he was going to do crazy things and get the ball if you didn't kick, touchbacks or whatever. Patterson was more, he was so difficult because they'd run these crazy formations to try to funnel the ball to him. And then I had like 13 different types of kicks when we'd play them, where it's like, okay, I'm like a bloop kick, a hole shot, a pull kick, like all these things trying to get like just not let him catch the ball cleanly or keep it away from him altogether. So I mean, we literally were like, should we just surprise on side it every time? Just take our chances? Because it's like, I mean, we either get it or I spike it and we kick it. It's like kick it, try to get it at the 40-yard line because he was just so dangerous. And I do think guys like Devin Hester, honestly, we played Percy Harvin was ridiculous.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, exactly.
I feel like the Vikings, because they, sometimes they couldn't do a lot of other things. they always had good returners though. I mean, Adrian Peterson returned kickoffs whenever he was first.
Like how
when he
terrifying.
first came into the league.
Like it is one of those things, like the speed of Devin Hester and Percy Harvin, like terrifying, but the size of Cordarrelle Patterson and Adrian Peterson running at you is absolutely frightening.
Yeah. I remember Jordy Nelson tackling Adrian Peterson in the hole on a kickoff. And I was like folding behind him and I'm like, oh, please, Jordy, please show that free safety, that defensive, background. Cause I mean, he went to K-State as a defender. So I'm just like, please show up right now. And he stuck him in the hole. And I was so juiced because I wasn't going to tackle him.
Let's get real.
I was kind of doing the side shuffle, like kind of soccer, I'm in position. Oh, I might, oh gosh, he cut back on me. I don't think I can get him on this one, but, yeah, so we had so many in our division that we were always so good. And we played them so much. So yeah, it's like Devin Hester, Patterson, Percy Harvin, Adrian Peterson early. So not a ton of stuff with him, but just the fact that he returned kicks was crazy.
So who's like the one guy real quick that you want covering a kickoff? I mean, obviously besides Jordy Nelson.
Yeah. I did somewhat. Jordy wasn't the answer I was going to say on that because he was reluctantly going down there, but he did fill when he needed to.
He had some other skills.
Yeah, exactly. We had some guys early. We had it was like John Kuhn and Corey Hall and Desmond Bishop. Some of those guys early on that were my age, guys that just kind of like I grew up in the league with. Those were those hard-nosed guys that were always going to lay it on the line for special teams, and I'd always want them, on the field, going down there making plays. So, kind of newer guys that we played with. We had some really good guys. Jared Bush. Jared Bush was a guy though, kind of back in the day. So, it is an unsung hero type of thing to run down and cover kicks and do things on special teams. So every guy that suits up and puts a helmet on, straps it up to go play special teams, I'll go to battle with them anytime.
Heck yeah.
All right. Where are we headed now? Reese. I don't know. Let's see. Reese, this is from Gruntavius.
Okay.
Gruntavius asks, what is Reese's best memory watching Mason play at Lambeau Field?
Ooh. This is a good one. I think, again, I got like a couple different ones. Something that's always been interesting about watching you play. So I've been a Packers fan since kindergarten. We grew up in Georgetown, Texas. I've been a fan my entire life. Me and my best friend Jamie since kindergarten have been Green Bay Packers fans. And so it's always just been really convenient for me that you ended up going to play there. So like that was awesome. And so literally every time that I got to go to Lambeau, I didn't take it for granted. I've gone a million times over the years and it's always great. And what's always been fun is there's different times when you go. Sometimes the seats are like, 30, 40 rows up. Other times they're in like the first 5 rows. And so I actually always like the 30 or so rows up because you can see a lot better. Like these are giant humans that you're, sitting eye level with you. It's a little hard to see. And it's such a weird thing to say, like, oh, I hate sitting on row 2. Like it's a weird thing to say. I get it. But whenever I did get like the low seats, what I always liked is being able to literally know whenever we're trying to make eye contact with each other. And it's so funny. Like there's like a moment coming up. And one of my favorite ones was whenever you were playing, again, the Dallas Cowboys at Lambeau, and it's coming down to the end. And it's always one of those things like watching you play long enough, whenever it's coming down to a kick. Most people do, but like there's something about it. You can just feel it. Like this is going to happen. And there was a moment where we made eye contact and I just mime to you. I go, shoulders back, smash it. And like, we kind of like just nodded, like, you got this. And then you go out and you smash it through, game winner. Like that one was a good one just because we got to have like that moment, like that nod, like, you got this. And like, I'm right here and we know that it's going to go in. So that was that was a really fun one. And that was, towards one of the last couple of years, which was even better. So that one was pretty epic.
Yeah, I feel like I always one I think of is like whenever playoffs was that 20 was it the 2020 season playoffs when it was like nobody in Lambeau and you and the family, everyone was on the visitor side across from, and I could see you the whole time.
Yeah.
And I still remember that as like a vivid moment for me. And yeah, just always like kind of checking it. It's like I'd run on the field and like y'all were just like right over there, and I could see you because there was no one else in the crowd.
That was when we had to sit in like little pod sections.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, okay, you got 8 people, like y'all can be together, and then no one else in that section because it was dangerous.
It was dangerous. But I think like those are some of the favorite memories. Like again, that was a game winner. Like that was huge. But there's been other times to where it's late December, January playoff game, and you go out there and you kick like a 51-yarder or over a 50-yarder. And it's just one of those things that like everyone around you can hear people. They don't know who I am, obviously, or that I know you by any means. And they're just like, oh, I hope he makes it, or like, oh no, this and that. And then like you just come in and you drain it. And it's just like so epic because like I'm freezing cold just sitting over here. I can't imagine kicking a ball 50 yards.
So thanks for the pump up.
I got you, bro. Don't you worry. But yeah, it's just one of those things. Like I honestly like always finding you first is something that I can always do. Like they're always like, where's Mason? I'm like, he's right there. Boom, got it. And it's just like the eye contact. Like that's always my favorite thing is somehow we always find each other. And it's always just like the nod. Like the sports events are like, the sporting part is cool, but those are my favorites.
I love it. That's awesome. Good question. Good question. Should we answer one from a very special guest, a very special person? It's a 2-part question.
It's a 2-parter.
So this one comes from Molly C. Crosby.
That rings a bell.
I don't know. Do we know a Molly C?
I don't.
Okay. So here's one question. She says, if I want to be a March Madness kind of fan, when should I be watching European soccer? So I think what she's trying to say is if you're not going to be like a soccer fan day in and day out year round, but you kind of want to watch like highlight moments, big moments in European soccer and international soccer, when might you want to watch said soccer?
There's a few different times to where there's a lot of teams playing at once, like Boxing Day, which is the day after Christmas. Big day. All the teams play for the most part, at least. And so like that's a good day to watch any game that you want. And then last day of the season as well, which is usually in May for the English Premier League. Great time to watch as well because every single game kicks off at the same exact time. And somehow they play an entire season, and it's a lot of the times comes down to that last day. So as far as like the English Premier League season goes, that's usually a pretty good couple days at least to watch. But then when it comes to like a March Madness style tournament, there are two major ones times a year, and it's every 4 years they have the international tournaments like the Euros and the Copa America, which is coming up here this month. And then the biggest one of all. So like those are huge, but those are regional. So it's one of those things that if you want to watch Europe or South America, Central America, North America, stuff like that, those are huge. But you want to watch world football where a team from Asia can play a team from South America and a team from Africa can play a team from the UK. That is the World Cup, and that's every 4 years, and it's absolutely the most amazing, intense, fantastic tournament to watch. It is the world's game, and it's every 4 years, and it absolutely is just epic.
It's coming to America, folks.
Oh
America,
my gosh,
Canada,
wait.
and Mexico.
And I have to go. If I don't make it, I might die.
If you don't make it?
If I don't make it to a game or all the games, if I don't do everything that it takes to go to USA Soccer, I don't know if I'll be able to move on from that.
It is in California, though. Are you going to be okay with it?
I'll just black that part out.
Okay. All right, we're going to SoFi. We're going to be watching U.S. play. Or we could, I mean, you probably prefer, we could go up to, they're probably going to play up in San Fran, right? San Jose.
I don't remember, to be honest.
I think they're on the West Coast, so.
They're all West Coast.
We definitely need to get some U.S. men's national team games in during that World Cup. So we're looking forward to that. It's going to be awesome. And Molly's two-parted question, I'm just going to say it because it does tie together. And she, if anyone didn't know, she is my wife. So
you're married?
Well, I had to. If you didn't know who Molly C. Crosby is, that's who it is. Okay, so she said, I want to know what part of the NFL season, the English soccer season, is our favorite. Which I like that question. So I think for me, the best part of the NFL season is obviously the playoffs. I mean, you make the playoffs. It's so special. And that actually, I'm going to back up a little bit on that because I do think those last 3 games of the regular season are pretty awesome. I think whenever I look back and whenever I become kind of on the outside looking in as a fan and as a former player, those games are going to be the ones that I remember kind of being the toughest and having to really grind out some seasons. Mic check.
Check.
Yeah, so the end of the season is the time of year that I always remember the most as being very difficult and so defining to what your season was going to be. So we had to make some runs at Green Bay and win out to even get into the playoffs. The year we won the Super Bowl, we had to win out. We went on a run where we won 6 in a row, I believe, that 2016 year to make it to the playoffs. So those that down the stretch run, that it's just something special where you get in a groove, and those teams that get hot in that last month of the season are really dangerous come the playoffs. And then for me, European soccer, I love Champions League end of the year. That time of year is fun. I love the knockout stages and that tournament. And then like this year, watching the Premier League finish was something special. I mean, the top 3 teams in that league, any other year, like before 10 years ago, when Man City kind of started coming in and all these teams started building up. I mean, prior to that, all 3 of those teams would have been the best team in the Premier League by far. There wouldn't have even been competition. So the fact that you had 3 teams almost set records for how many points they got, and just the dominance that they showed was really awesome. And yeah, those are some of my favorite times, and I love how all of that rolls together. Like you can watch, I always watch Premier League on the Saturday, Sunday mornings on game days and on game weekends. And then in the off season, it's so great for being a fan of international soccer is that the NFL season, football stops and rolls right into, I mean, soccer's still going. You can roll through it into May and then into the summer months, usually whenever there's international stuff going, like find things that you can watch year round and just you never have to stop. It's just not never ending, nonstop sport action. And that's what I want for my life.
Sport action.
Sport action.
Sport
you thought
fishing.
I was going to say that. Yeah.
I thought you were going to say sport fishing.
Nope. That's keep listening.
Keep listening. Keep listening. Sport fishing. All right. So I have a question of my own that I'm always curious about, and I just want to hit it off the fly. So I always like to, we do movie references all the time. That's like how I speak. It's like my main, like.
It's your words. Say use your words. Yes.
God, I forgot.
It's your words.
Well, I wasn't doing a movie quote. So
I know that felt uncomfortable. Like you're trying to say your own things, but you just need to speak in movie quotes.
Well, I'm really quick on my feet. Yeah. So, but anyway, so I doing movie references all the time. It always makes me think of questions to ask you, and one that came up is, are you like a Soul Skater team Pup and Suds, or are you team X Blades?
Don't do this.
And then the follow-up question is, why are you team X Blades?
Oh my gosh. Do we need to go back to our first show, like the Charlie Conway stuff? I mean, you're just trying to get a rise out of me.
You're Gunnar Stahl. I'm Charlie Conway.
You're Charlie Conway.
And you're Val from Team X Blades.
So you're just jealous because so you could beat me one time. Yeah, fine. I'm Team X Blades. You beat me one time. You're a 1 in a million. It's like, oh, you're little giants, and I'm
that's what
I mean, so you love to be the underdog story.
You beat Kevin down Cherry Hill?
I think I always watched that movie and I was like, they beat him one time. Relax. Like I'd rather be that Cowboys Little League team every day of the week where it's like the next year we're going to throttle you and we're going to win the championship. You got us one time. Congratulations. Move on with your life.
So you're Team X Blades. You're the Dallas Cowboys over the Giants and Little Giants, and you're Cobra Kai over the Karate Kid.
Okay. Don't go there.
I'm just trying to get it right.
I'm not Cobra Kai.
Elite, and then he came in one time with an illegal head kick and won the entire tournament. So, I mean, if it holds true, you're Cobra Kai.
I don't think I'm Cobra Kai. I would never do karate. So.
Just a dig at karate out of nowhere. Note to self, note to everyone. Mason doesn't like hockey or karate.
Oh, whoa. I apologize about the hockey.
He did apologize to hockey. He loves
hockey. I apologize about hockey. And I wouldn't want to fight. I mean, karate is unreal, but I don't think I would have ever taken and done karate.
Well, you didn't, so you don't have to I don't think
I would never. I never did, and that's not something I'm into. Like, this is not me saying I want to fight anyone, and think anyone that does karate can't fight. Like, I know they can fight. So you think are you Mr. Miyagi? Is that who you think you are?
That's where you went? I'm Mr. Miyagi for sure.
All right.
And I'm not a Team Pup and Suds. I'm the dad or something. I'm just not involved in the sport.
That's how I view you.
Yeah, got it. Perfect.
You're just like the friend. You're like the announcer. So in Little Giants, you're the one doing the announcing.
He's holding about a pound of Aunt Betty's nut butter, but that's a live ball.
You'd be the guy coming up with the plays. You'd be the annexation of Puerto Rico.
Oh, for sure. That's a good gosh. Play. Mom said the pads you gave me weren't enough. That would be me.
Comes in with the total rap job. Oh my gosh. Team Pup and Suds. Oh man.
Team Pup and Suds. All dirt.
I did. I probably do have to admit, yeah, I for sure would have wanted to join Team X-Blades.
You would be Team X-Blades. That actually is that's an easy one, and you would have been on the Cowboys instead of the little Giants.
But why the kid Team Pup and Suds, he joins Team X-Blades. His friends basically disown him, hate him now.
Yeah, Gabriel.
He changes. He does all this stuff, and then sells out. What I get from that is the guy is just a wishy-washy, like,
he was not wishy-washy. He was standing up for his friends.
He goes back and forth all the time.
To stand up for his friends.
If they were really his friends, they would have been proud of him and said, like, man, you've made the elite team. Go and do your thing, man.
But they thought that
we got your back.
No, they were better than Team X-Blades. They just did it they were soul skaters. They did it for the fun. They didn't need the fame or the money like Bigfoot.
But then why'd they even join the competition?
So they could show him who's boss.
No,
and then Val threw down the rocks. And then Val threw down the rocks. And then Brink was like, I'm out.
That did cross a line. He shouldn't have done that.
Thank you. And then he got revenge because he's a soul skater.
I would never do that.
That's true, I believe.
I would never do that.
I
never did that. I didn't play dirty.
Thank you for clearing that up. I would never throw rocks down on the court for someone to skate.
Never throw rocks in front of someone skating. Facts. Check it. You can't find anything where that's coming up.
You got me.
All right, man. Do we have any other questions? Do we want to keep going, or what are we doing?
I think it's time to release the episode. I think it's time for the people to finally hear where we came from, our foundation episode that happened 3 years ago. I think it's time for the public to know how this started in the most ridiculous way.
Yeah, and I think as we're kind of continuing like on this here, every episode where we realized is we wanted to go back to this moment, and we want to make sure that it's out there to know for our own sake what we're trying to do and what we're trying to accomplish.
Yeah.
Even though we're definitely going to hit on some stuff with, guests and like our own things and talk about some different stuff than where we had thought originally 3 years ago we were going to be. This is who we are, and this is what we're about. I mean, we're brothers. We like to have fun.
We're brothers.
Reese is weird.
We're brothers and we're weird and we're
so funny. Reese thinks he's an underdog all the time, and so he's always coming from a place like that. And
I'm the younger brother. I am the underdog.
That's how it works. But hope y'all enjoy this, and we will continue to do some Q&As on our social media stuff. Love the posts, love the questions. We'll keep the questions that were asked on this that we didn't get to, and hopefully answer some more of them next time. But enjoy this one. Love getting to engage with people that listen and that are following us, and I'm excited for y'all to see this this very rare first release of an episode of our first podcast that we came up with 3 years ago. I'm so glad we're doing this. So glad y'all are coming along with us. Let's get this thing going, and let's keep it rolling. So keep following us. Really appreciate it. Hit it, Reese.
We out. Take it away.
Are you recording?
Oh, it's recording. All right. We're live, ladies and gents.
All right. Well, this is Mr. Crosby here, just sitting with my brother Reese. We've been talking about doing this for a long time, starting a podcast where we just talk about football, talk about life, our journey as brothers, as friends, as sibling rivalries, the things that we've accomplished, and the fun times and some of the times that have been pretty frustrating. Hopefully we'll have some good laughs and a lot of fun. So
I feel like the best way to describe this is like there's no real like guide or direction for what's about to happen, and I think that's the best part, and that's pretty much exactly like how we have like grown up. Is like you think something might go a certain way, and then you throw the sibling stuff in there, and you never know what's gonna happen. But
so Reese is a Sasquatch aficionado. Would that be a correct thing to call you?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying that anyone should be afraid of Sasquatch. I'm just saying we should all be on alert. Is all. Like, if you're out in the woods, just keep an eye out for it. It's something that you shouldn't necessarily be afraid of, but just aware that, I mean, there's some crazy things out there.
And obviously,
right.
I think that's the ultimate goal is to find Sasquatch at some point.
It's a constant game of cat and mouse, and I'm bound and determined to not only see Sasquatch, but potentially befriend Sasquatch, like be.
I didn't realize that was your goal.
I think it's everyone's goal. I think it's like a pretty standard goal in life.
But you want to befriend Sasquatch?
Well, why would you not? Like, who doesn't want to ask Sasquatch some questions? Be like, hey man, like, so like.
Here's my question to you:
where you been?
Is you actually believe that Sasquatch speaks English and will have a conversation with you?
I think it's pretty plausible to like think that Sasquatch could like observe people enough to like gather the language and be able to communicate. I don't think that's an outrageous thing.
How could he ever he's never been close enough to humans? Like how could he actually?
He's always close enough. You just can't see him. Like he might be there, like hanging around the tent. Like you go to bed, he grabs a s'more, like you're good to go, man. Like he's got to eat too. it's a thing.
Do they live in houses or do they live like out in caves?
So you're telling.
I just want to know. I want to know your understanding of what Sasquatch is and does.
You're telling me with confidence that Sasquatch doesn't speak English? Show me that documentation. That's what I.
It's always about.
It's well documented that Sasquatch is very intelligent, yes. And
and it's not documented that he doesn't know English.
Thank you. Yeah. It's not like, oh yeah, and Sasquatch doesn't speak English. I haven't seen that anywhere. Show me that.
That's true.
And you can't.
You can't. When was the first time you like decided Sasquatch was real and like you were going to like live a lifestyle of befriending Sasquatch? I didn't know that was actually happening. I'm kind of rethinking this whole podcast.
You know what you got yourself into.
I didn't know this was where
it started in high school to where like I started watching shows about Sasquatch. I'm like, man, this is crazy stuff. You gotta check this out. And then started hiking a lot and being in areas that Sasquatch pretty much everywhere.
Because you have a mold of a Sasquatch foot.
I do.
Correct? Yeah.
I do. It's called cripple foot. And speaking of documentation, it's like one of the most documented, like longest set of Sasquatch footprints like there is. So, It's no big deal.
Yeah.
It's no big deal, but I have both feet, and it's whatever, so.
Oh, we have a first guest.
Molly is here.
Crosby is in the house.
You know you're successful whenever you're doing a podcast, and you literally have a live audience, so, I mean, I couldn't be more honored for this.
Okay, yeah.
All right, Molly. Molly's here. Ladies and gentlemen, Molly.
Podcast, sweetheart. All right. Can you say hi to the...
Good evening.
Oh.
Spoken like a true Ravenclaw.
So Molly has really taken this kind of down a notch to the new series. I think we might be on NPR now. Can we say that? Can you say that on the podcast?
I don't know if you can you shout that out? I'm not sure.
Can we
I think only if you hashtag it.
Okay.
We'll hashtag that.
But no, I'm serious. Like,
are we hashtagging?
I have a question about podcasting and like, are we affiliated? Like, do you have to be affiliated? Can you say things, or will people go after you? Like, what are the rules?
I honestly did little to no research before I clicked record on this podcast. So I literally have no idea.
That's usually what happens. That's when the best stuff. That's when magic happens.
It's gonna happen right now.
And this is so. I just want to protest this on like every level.
Oh. Jeez.
This is a protest cast now, not a podcast.
This is all getting edited. This is all getting cut out here. This will never air.
It's like Molly didn't even exist in this podcast.
The best part was when I realized, walking down the hallway, that you guys are just having a conversation recording yourselves right now.
Exactly.
Just the two of you.
Well, we've had so many amazing conversations. So it's about time someone actually tuned in.
And by someone, you mean yourselves.
Yeah, this might never, it might never go anywhere, but it could be going.
Remember when we used to make like Saturday Night Live skits? Like we'd recreate them?
Oh my gosh.
And we'd just watch them for ourselves.
The Harry Carey?
The Harry Carey's one of the best. Because it's a simple question, Molly. Would you eat the moon if it was made of ribs? Heck, I know I would. I polish it off with a tall, cool Budweiser.
You can't say Budweiser.
We can't say Budweiser? There's so many rules. There's so many rules that we don't know, and that we might be making up on the fly.
It's like the movie Four Christmases.
Oh.
You can't say it here.
You can't say, can't say that.
All right, Molly. So we were talking before we got on tonight about Harry Potter. Talking about the many spells Reese likes to, throw out there, especially when we're driving.
Yep.
What's your favorite Harry Potter spell? And we've all decided, like, 1, 2, 3. What is Molly as far as houses of Hogwarts?
Yeah.
All right, we'll go
1,
back
2,
to
3.
the spell that I like.
Ravenclaw, 5,000%.
I just don't think either of you could even name any of the house colors. Their
Gryffindor is
symbol.
crimson and gold.
Hufflepuff is yellow.
There's no way
green.
Hufflepuff is yellow.
It is 100% yellow. And their badger is the mascot. Thank you.
No way.
Yes. Are you kidding me?
Wait, you asked the question. You don't even know what they are.
Wait, this makes sense. So Reese is Hufflepuff?
Yes.
Yes.
This whole time, Reese has been Hufflepuff.
Since I put the sorting hat on my first year, yes.
Forever.
Okay, my favorite spell has probably always been the Patronus one, because it's always like, what would your Patronus be?
That's so showy. That's such a showy spell.
How is that showy?
It's legitimately showing.
Okay, yes, the
showing.
thing comes out of the
You're
wand.
flashy, sweetie.
The thing. It's the Patron. Like, that is
The
what the
Patronum.
spell is. No, the Patronus.
I don't know about that. I think you should fact check it.
You're really flashy.
I do feel like you've got the vernacular wrong on that one. I think I think you say.
So I think we should switch to like a voting segment. And I vote that Molly so far has been the worst guest we've ever had on the podcast.
But I've also been the best as I've been your only.
Wow. That was actually...
I did not see that. I did not see that coming.
She'll do that sometimes. You
I
don't
did not
expect
see
it.
that
I think I might need to end my guest.
You probably should leave on that
right
one,
there.
because that was...
I'd say
Molly-
mic drop, but you guys are holding the mic together currently. So
And I
just don't
can't
know.
drop it, because then, like, I don't know.
I don't know. He's squeezing it really tight, too.
I'm so nervous.
He's super nervous.
Like, I'm pretty sure it's made out of plastic, but
Oh, our live audience.
Yeah. Oh,
Thanks for coming, Molly.
good
How's
night.
it going, Bob?
Good night, you guys. I'd like to say
Ew, let's clap her out. Patronus. Patronus out.
Well, that was fun.
Oh, man. Classic Ravenclaw move.
That is so Ravenclaw.
not rape. Oh my god.
And she's still going. That's what... Oh, my gosh. And slam the door.
Man.
Are we children? I don't know.
Yes. Let's sum that up.
Oh,
Let's
man.
sum that up right now.
Yes. My job, is it... Do I kick a football or do I play FIFA? Like, it's kind of a toss-up sometimes.
That's true. You do one more than the other, but you get paid for one, not the other.
Yeah.
We'll let people decide which one that one is.
Yeah, I mean, if someone's willing to pay us to play FIFA, we're definitely down for that.
Our next segment.
What can we get paid to do?
What random things will people pay us to do?
Yeah.
Who's up for video games? What's any takers there?
Yeah. Maybe like sport fishing. I would love to get paid to fish.
Why was that like your second thing? Why did you instantly jump? So we play video games.
I think people do
fishing.
get paid to play
No, that's
video
like a
games and to sport fish.
Yeah, they're both things. But
So
like,
what
why
else?
were
Like,
those your
to
two
drink
things?
water? I'd love to get paid to drink some water.
That's
Just-
why. What are you coming up with these things? I don't understand.
I thought we were going for like things that we could get paid for that like you don't normally get paid.
I
to
know,
do.
but like how your mind is just coming up with these, I'm impressed.
Like I want to get paid to put like hair gel on in the morning.
Well, that's like is that like a model?
I guess people get paid to do that.
It's still a thing.
But I want it to be just like, not because I'm getting my picture taken, but just if I put hair gel in my hair.
You want compensation.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty standard. It's a normal thing, I think. I'm pretty sure.
Like, do you think in our world, like, people get paid to, in some form or fashion, like, everything we do on a daily basis, somebody in somewhere is getting compensated for that same act?
Yeah, I mean, like, there's like sleep studies that you like go and get paid for. That you can literally like sleep and make money.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, because it's like there's a commercial for everything, there's a movie for everything, there's like anything you could ever think of. Somebody has been paid to do that.
That's true.
Think something that hasn't. Name 4. Name 1.
Doctor. No, that's a thing. Why was that the first thing?
Beard grower.
A beard grower. That could be cool. I'm already working on that one.
But has anyone been? Someone's been paid to grow a beard.
I mean, probably.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm going to challenge people that are watching the show to not Google anything. We're just going to wing it. We're just going to like... Yeah. It's just a show of assumptions and opinions and guesses.
We're not fact-checking this stuff. We are definitely just like throwing out random thoughts. So I just have like some dreams that I still want to, achieve in life.
Yeah, you want to be a sport fisher, apparently. I've never heard that one before. That's like a brand new one that I've never heard in my life.
I don't even know what that means. Like, sport fishing, like, is it extreme fishing? Like, yelling a lot? Like, climbing, like, the mast. I'm like, I gotta, like, really fight everything. How is it a sport? Like, what's the sport?
Are bonita fish big? Yeah, they're considered a sport fish, so they're pretty big. I mean, I don't know how to explain it.
Oh, my gosh.
So, basically, I think... our podcast is just going to be a hodgepodge of our ridiculous conversations that we have pretty much on a normal basis. Like, every time we get together, we just start like ranting and going off, and basically I'd say like 87% of our conversations are movie quotes and then recycling jokes that we either made previously in the conversation or in past conversations.
Yeah,
it's
please,
just like,
again, don't fact check the 87% because like, if you like went through our podcast as we keep going, like, let's not try to like put a number on it.
Well, like 80% of the things that I say
are 87%.
87% accurate.
Okay.
And that's well documented.
That is well documented.
You take that to the bank.
No one's gonna, like, you can't prove that it's not. Yeah, I mean, I think the goal of this podcast is that we're gonna share some insight into our relationship and like kind of just literally what we've been doing for the last, probably since we've been more adults, like some of the stupid conversations, but probably for the last, 15 years or so, and just, try to have some fun, see where it takes us.
I think it's a great idea.
It's going to be a great journey.
We don't know where we're going, but you're coming with us.
Let's go.
Let's do this.